They thought WarGames would be the end of story. Instead, it was the beginning of a new one. One with a hooded figure, a brutal stomp, and a backstage corridor full of questions. The biggest moment of the night didn't come from a title change or a finish. It came from the unknown. A mystery attacker who climbed the cage, struck CM Punk, and turned the biggest match of the night into a whodunit. Within minutes, the internet was flooded with theories, clips, and hot takes. Was a returning star, a disguised roster member, a new hand in the game? Tonight, we're breaking down what we know, what we don't, and what this could mean for Roman Reigns, JUSO, CM Punk, and the future of the Bloodline story. Welcome to Wrestling News WWE, the channel that cuts through the noise to tell you what matters in pro wrestling. If you live for tight breakdowns, hot takes that actually explain the thinking behind the angles, and clip analysis of the moments that trend, you're in the right place. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell because when wrestling throws a mystery at you, we solve it together. The scene, SurvivorSeries main event, chaos rewind to the finish of men's WarGames. The teams had brawled, bodies were everywhere, and the cage had become a war-torn theater. Just when it looked like the match was reaching its final beats, a hooded figure scaled the cage and drilled CM Punk with signature-looking strikes. A super kick and a stomping searing enough to evoke memories of certain top heels. The attack swung the match into the hands of Team Vision, allowing Braun Breaker to land a decisive spear in the pin. The image of Punk crumpling after a sudden ruthless assault is what people will remember. And more importantly, it's the image that turns a hot match into a longer storyline. The fallout, instant questions, and wild theories. When the dust settled, the wrestling timeline exploded. Social feeds lit up with who was that takes. Some suggested Seth Rollins based on the style of the moveset. But Rollins has been sidelined with a legitimately reported shoulder issue, and most outlets flagged him as unlikely. Others pointed at past rivals who could physically match the attacker's frame. Then came the crucial backstage shots. The mystery man being seen with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso near production areas caught on quick camera frames and fans' hot clips. That's when a narrative pivoted. This wasn't just a mass ambush. There was a suggestion of planning, coordination, maybe even hiring. The question every fan began to ask out loud. Did Roman have a hand in this? The Raw reveal. Roman speaks or does he? According to multiple reports from the Raw that followed, Roman Reigns addressed the aftermath in a way only Roman can. Measured, insinuating, and quietly theatrical. He broke the silence on camera. Not a full confession, but an angle that suggested knowledge of the mystery man's movements and implied control of backstage dynamics. Crucially, Roman did not outright name the attacker on Raw. Instead, he leaned into cryptic comments and a power play posture scene with a mystery figure backstage, not naming him and offering a line that read like a warning to Punk. There are consequences. There are people who do things I don't need to explain. That ambiguous posture fuels the fire. Is Roman protecting an asset? Is he asserting dominance by keeping an unknown card close to his vest? Or is this all a plan to redirect suspicion? Let's talk evidence. The only kind we can use in wrestling until someone signs a contract and the company posts it. Fans' hot footage and arena cameras showed a hooded attacker wearing black executing moves that resembled a certain well-known in-ring repertoire. Later, quick camera flashes caught a hooded figure in the back with Roman and Jey Uso. A grainy yet suggestive moment. Those images are a storytelling goldmine because they create verifiable questions. Did the attacker coordinate with Roman? Was the attacker part of the Bloodline posturing or was this staged to make it look that way? The fridge logic here is delicious. If you see someone with the leader of faction, it's natural to assume a connection. And that assumption is exactly what writers court when they want to escalate drama. In kayfabe terms, Roman Reigns has history, reach, and the means to hire or recruit muscle if his objective demands it. If your goal is to destabilize CM Punk, a threat with a volatile presence and the power to fracture locker room loyalties, planting a masked assailant makes tactical sense. It paints Punk as vulnerable, creates mistrust among allies, and lets Roman control the narrative without visibly dirtying his own hands. From a storyline perspective, a mystery attacker gives Roman plausible deniability while accomplishing the exact sabotage he wants. He keeps a rival weakened and claims moral high ground publicly. It also serves a meta purpose. It keeps fans guessing and drives engagement across social platforms. Last word on sports. Let's run through the leading possibilities. And why each one makes sense or doesn't. A returning star disguised. The style of the attack mirrored certain known moves, fueling speculation of a comeback masked by costume. That checks the viral psychology box because fans love surprise returns. ESPN.com. A current roster member under disguise. This is the easiest angle from a production standpoint. You can use a contracted talent already on site and save mystery for a later payoff. An independent/guest star, a wild card that raises the stakes and allows for future signing buzz, a planted decoy to make Roman look guilty. The camera catching the hooded figure with Roman could be a red herring produced to manipulate fan reaction. This is creative logic at its manipulative best and entirely plausible. Each theory has a narrative payoff. The job of Sublex Saga is to weigh likelihoods and point out which choices preserve long-term storytelling value. Right now, the current roster under disguise is the simplest and most likely practical option, but the returning star option is the one that would create the biggest immediate splash. Wrestle Talk. This is where things get spicy. The Bloodline, whether stabilized or fractured depending on timeline, is a cloak for power plays. A mystery man appearing with Roman and Jay in the wings begs two narrative pathways. A Roman is recruiting a new Bloodline lieutenant, quietly boosting his muscle for bigger gambits. Or B, Roman is orchestrating a false flag, deliberately being seen so that attention moves away from whoever he actually wants to protect or expose. Option A reshapes the faction, adding new energy and a new enforcer for Roman's edge. Option B is the classic power play using stage proximity to muddle the waters and keep Punk and the audience off balance. Both serve different creative goals. A expands the roster. B manipulates perception. Which one will WWE choose? Right now, the evidence is suggestive but not definitive. TPWW.net CM Punk is not just another name on a roster. He's a storyline catalyst. Make no mistake, attacking Punk has a built-in effect beyond the match finish. It creates sympathy, anger, and demand for retribution. How Punk responds decides the next beat. Does he go solo on a revenge rampage? Does he double down, calling out Roman publicly and demanding a name? Or does Punk react with paranoia, starting to suspect allies and fracturing the babyface camp? From a storytelling standpoint, the best moves are the ones that complicate personalities. Punk staying stoic and methodical makes him scarier. Punk snapping and going rogue creates volatile TV. Either route keeps viewers invested. Cape seeds for pro wrestling fans. WWE knows how to make mystery feel cinematic. The use of quick cuts, grainy backlit footage, and deliberate non-denials on live TV are classic tools. The post-match bureau that showed the hooded attacker backstage with Roman and Jay is edited to maximize ambiguity. Just enough detail to spark theories, not enough to give away the answer. This kind of editing is what turns a single moment into a week of content. Podcasts. Unpacking theories, YouTube channels flashing deep dive thumbnails, and wrestling pagers spinning the rumor wheel. As creators, our job is to parse what's staged from what's intentionally visible and to call out the production decisions that are cueing audience reaction. Wrestling headlines, this mystery, is the kind that feeds both instant reaction and long-term narrative payoff. Roman's silence, the hooded figure, and Punk's punishment are the exact things that make wrestling addictive. Questions that demand answers. Played across massive stages and shared screens. Wrestling News WWE will be here for every frame, every hint, and every reveal. Tell us who you think the mystery man is in the comments, and which reveal would make you stop scrolling and tune in live. Until the next big